Howdy folks, welcome to episode 78. We're gonna see if we can clean up this mess here, and I'm curious to see if any of these had the brakes on, if that's... I think we had another one of these things where like the switch changed or something like that. But if you look back, and I'll see if I can remember to show you the video. But there was a couple of frames before I was looking back here, before I turned back around and started going forward, and I'm like, wow, it's really struggling going up this hill or something, you know? And then all of a sudden it stopped struggling. It's like, yeah, that's when it was derailing. You could just see one of these cars doing something goofy. It's all right. It's all good. It's really struggling here. And then it's going down a hill. So we had a couple of... I swear, it's this switch right here. Something happened with this switch right here. But anyway, we're gonna re-rail these. Get these re-railed here. And re-rail. There we go. And then re-rail this one. See if we can get these over to the... It's right there. There we go. That was weird. Apparently it sets the brake from outside, since you're hearing it when you're close enough. That was interesting. Let me actually turn that down too, because that's really loud. I'm sure my mic will be picking that up. So this should be 0%. Yeah, okay. All right. No, I'll bet one of the switches, every once in a while, you know how when you're running across the switches in fly mode, and it does that thing where it like bounces you off the... Here. That. I wonder if it's that when you're far enough away from it or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just random. It just did something random like that. You know, was I far enough for certain physics elements to turn off? You know, that kind of thing. Okay. All right, we're going to go like this to bring this back and see if we can get this to... See, this is why I try to... This is why I try to always either be in the front looking back or the back looking forward, because when they derail, it's, I don't know, it's at least interesting to see what happened. I mean, generally it doesn't tell you anything anyway. You still have no idea why, but it's at least makes some good footage, right? All right, we're staying under 5 here. See if we can stay under 5. No, there wasn't any reason for this. Any particular reason for this to have derailed, so let's come up to 12%, because we're going to hit these cars and it's going to slow down. So there we go. You lose a little bit of speed with each one. Alright, this should do fine. Alright, now we're connected all the way back. Yeah, okay. Let's go back here. Whoops. And we're going to hit the brakes. We're going to wait for this to stop. There we go. Alright, we're all stopped. Everything is stopped. Alright. There we go. Let's see what's going on here. What is on our map? How close are we? Okay, so we just have this one corner. Let's double check and make sure the switches are set. Yeah, we're all good to go. That switch needs to be that way, just in case we get that far. Okay. Cool. We'll see how well we do here. Got that there. We're going to keep an eye on this stuff back here, in case anything else decides to fail. We're looking good. Let's go to the back. I'm just watching for anything that, you know, you see the every car tips a little bit to the left, or, you know, that kind of thing. Right? Anything like that. Let's see what happens here if we hit any. It almost felt like we hit a little bump there, didn't it? We'll have to go back and look at underneath that section of track. I mean, the other thing is, I'm sure the physics updates are not as frequent, and when your physics, we've discussed that, when your physics updates are not as frequent, you end up with the car moves farther and farther between frames, and so it's more likely to have a little boo-boo to decide it's gone past the margins or whatever. These two cars are now inside each other. And depending on how you deal with that circumstance, whether it just moves them to where they're not colliding and then handles the situation, or it's just like, oh, it's inside, let's just, oh, that was deco, that's right, okay. I hate those pieces of deco, man, they scare me. They kind of scare me. Yeah, we got to be getting like 15 frames a second, 10, 15 frames a second or something. It's pretty bad. All right. I probably could turn some things off that are running on my PC that would get me better performance too. So it's not all the game. I haven't like shut everything else down to maximize game performance or anything. I'm on a 4060, so there's that. I don't know whether this is using the CPU or the GPU for the physics, though, on these train cars. But I recently programmed a rope simulation. Segments of rope, and each rope interacts with the segments, you know, around it, kind of thing, in order to create a realistic rope that, you know, hangs and swings and all that stuff the way a rope would. And yeah, it was only 20 segments. Only 20 segments of rope, and it was using 2 milliseconds. You know, for all this stuff. I just get the feeling we're gonna have a. No, we still haven't broken yet. Okay. But yeah, I mean that was only 20 segments, and it used 2 milliseconds. It wasn't. I didn't optimize it or anything yet. But I mean, still, that's a lot of time for such a simple, what should be such a simple calculation. We're still going. We're still going. Let's see. Still coming around this. If we're on the front and we suddenly start going really fast, then we know we broke away, right? I wonder what happens if your camera's on this and then the front brakes, because this is no longer that train. You know what I mean? The connection. Can you hit the down arrow to go back? Back to the front. Oh no, now Metallica's going to sue me. Alright. Let me see. Nope, that was not anything important. We got some construction outside, so. Alright. We just have to get this in here. We're going to pull through. That's right. We're doing a drive-through on this. So we are gonna bring these through and then just keep going this way. So let's get. Is this the water tower that's like a total pain to try to get it to work? They're still going. That's pretty cool. Let's see. It's just the cars coming around the corners that are providing all the friction. That is really cool. I just wish those box cars weren't all the same color. It'd be really nice if we could get different colors on those. Okay. Let's see what we get. All right. So let's jump out here. See if we can... Okay, open is left this time. Today, it's turn to the left to open. What's going to be the open thing next time? Right? Okay. There we go, and then... We're just going to leave this running. See if it fills up at all. Yep, okay, cool. Alright, and we're going to check... We're going to get all the doors. That one's down. It'd be funny if you fall into that. Huh. There's the little hose on the front and back. This one is down. Pull it toward me. This one is left to open. Let's see which way this one goes. This one is left to open. It's so weird. Left. Okay, what if we go this way? Is it going to be to left or is it going to be to the right? No, it is to my left. It's such a weird thing. It's down to my down and my left are open. Yep, apparently. And we got a couple more. We're going to open them all because we're role-playing today. And I'm pretty sure we checked all the brakes on all these. Because we let it roll too. Yeah, apparently I found the secret formula on this one that it's down in my left. Back and to the left. Okay. Bring the next one up. You're wasting water! Okay. See what we got here. We used 100 to fill the 12 of that. Whoops. What is it doing? Why did it stop? There we go. I don't want to... I probably should, though. I probably should do like a high impulse, then let it travel through the thing. I think that's how you do that. So let's see where it starts filling. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, it's right there. Alright, cool. 6, 7. Oh, I didn't turn the brake off, that's why. See, you got to bring the whole thing into tension. I don't think you want to bring the whole thing into tension. I think what you want to do is you want to send an impulse down the line. Let's go like this. There we go. I would think that's how you would want to do it. You would want to send like a go impulse and each car pulls on the next one. Like that. And then you let it do its thing. Because each one pulls a little bit less on the one behind it because it loses, each one of them loses some of it. But that way you're not pulling, you know, you're not string lining this. Like if you have a piece of string on the ground and it's all like crooked and stuff, and then you start pulling on one end, it's not like the string follows it's not like the string follows a path of the string before it. It just straightens out. Yeah, that's what the train wants to do. Okay. I'm explaining this to probably people that are train nerds that that knew that before I was born, right? Okay. Even though I'm older than them, they still knew it before I was born. All right, I should probably turn off the water well at some point and let it recover, because it's going to start having a problem here. Let's see here. There we go. We'll let it run out first. That's only 5 cars. Yeah, this is going to take a while, huh? All right. Let's see. It would be really nice if you had the hose that you could just plug in and it would stay on as you go past, all right? Wouldn't that be nice? That would be a pleasant way to do it. Come on, you can do it. There we go. This would be really fun if it weren't so awkward. It's one of those things where the design is really cool and the implementation is just meh. Here we go. I almost feel like disconnecting all the other cars behind that and just pulling these through and then going back and reconnecting it. Almost seems like that would be a better idea, a better way to do this. Probably would be. You know what I mean? Disconnect that boxcar and then bring these all through, and then once you're done, you just kind of back up and reconnect the... You know what I'm talking about. I think we're halfway there, and we used all the water. All right. Well, I should have somebody standing there, you know, who runs a train all by themselves, right? You got somebody that's standing there that's turning the thing on and off as you're... I wonder if this... Nope. See, it doesn't turn it off. It just makes it... Oh, it does turn it off. It just makes the nozzle go backwards. Okay. At the same time. It turns it off while toggling the... Okay. So we got to do... Let's do this. Okay, see, now moving it to the left closes it instead of opening it. Okay. See, let's see. Why did it reopen? That was weird. I let go and it just reopened. No, go to... Okay. Not even going to ask. All right, let's try this again. There we go. Okay, that seems like it's going to work. All right, let's go like this. So we just need to stop it in front of that, whatchamacallit. You forgot the name? That is its name. What's its name? Whatchamacallit? Okay. It's right over here. Keep going. Yeah, our train hasn't fallen apart yet. It's... One more. I wonder if we can do the same thing where you just spaz on the key and it just goes. You know, one time each one water for each time you hit the open it up, like you do with the coal and stuff. Let's see if we can do that. Although the problem is then we'll only get 4 more cars filled before we run out of water. Because I'm an idiot. Okay, it's this pipe, not that pipe. This pipe we want to line up with. Keep going. One more. Nope. Nope, it's not going to do that. No, it just pauses. Okay. Speaking of water. Okay. That's not water, though. That's tea. Oh, gray. All right. We're going to get this. This is going to happen one of these days. Yeah, see, this is a mini game. I don't know. This is filled with mini games, and they're not as good as they can be. I guess is my gripe. 10. They should have spent more time on the mini games, making the loading and unloading fun, and this kind of thing, making this fun. It's now doable, but it's still not quite fun. It's more just like, oh, I still got 4 more, you know? It's not quite grindy enough for me to skip it and just to skip it all outright and edit the save to load up my train. Drive it here, go edit the save. Drive it there, go edit the save, right? Okay. I'm not at that stage. It's not that bad, but it's yeah, it's disappointing, I guess. It's part of the thing. But we'll see if I can do something about that. All right. You can stop. Thank you. We got 3 more after this. And we have to wait. Okay. Yeah, we've got enough to fill 1 more. This water isn't recovering very quickly, is it? It's not that bad, I suppose. What did it do? It came up to 15 and then it just stopped recovering. Why is it? Ah. It did that. We did that. There. Okay, so we have 2 more cars left. Let's move these ones up here. Hopefully we didn't just like break everything off with that, right? With that last backup and come back again thing. But I'm curious to see what, I guess we can, while this is recovering, we can check out a couple things. So if I hit it there, it should, there we go, okay. All right, that's going to fill up. Let's see what happens when it hits 0. Does it refill real quickly or no? It doesn't decide to refill. Let's see how long it waits to do that. I don't know if I leave it open like that, if it'll ever recover. Or if it's just going to sit there. So I was curious to see if you can... Yeah, you can climb up this ladder. That's kind of cool. And I wanted to climb up the other ladder too. Wow, that's really disorienting. Whoa! I'm going to break a leg and then I'm going to have to go find some cloth to make a bandage. How much is this? 8. Okay, so it is filling up. Does this door open? No, door doesn't open. No admitteds. Staff only. But I'm staff. I'm driving the train. Or is the train staff different than the... That's really... You know what that reminds me of is the build engine in Duke Nukem 3D. And they called it the build engine. Let's see, how much? 11. 1 more. Okay, let's get back here. So in Duke 3D, it was called the build engine, and they had here. Let me turn this off too. So they had tilted floors. Their solution to like Doom couldn't Here. I think we're good. Okay. So Doom couldn't do ramps or anything. But Duke Nukem 3D did tilted floors. And it was... There was this... The thing was that it didn't... When the floor was tilted, you would just... Your height would increase as you moved across, and your horizontal velocity stayed the same regardless of how tilted the surface was. And so if you made like a sheer cliff that was like 89 degrees, that was like, it was this thing. So if you run from here and you hit this ladder that's like at 89 degrees or whatever, it would go, you would like almost teleport from here to here. You'd be here and then you'd be here. So, and you wouldn't like slow down to go uphill, you know, you just basically, okay, your horizontal position is here, you're down here. Your horizontal position is here, you're up here. And it was cool because I actually used it to make some teleporters. I was able to make teleporters with it. I don't remember what mechanic I had done, but they had to be, I don't know, the way they were configured, it was kind of a pain too. You had to have them just sitting just right and all this stuff. Let's see. You can at least get the ones that are in there. But that's what those ladders remind me of. It's that kind of, oh, well, we just... Oh, I see. I think it adds 3 at a time when it adds. I think that's what's happening. So when it's ready, it's going to add 3, not just 1. Okay, so let's, while we're waiting for that, we're going to come out this way, and then we're going to go south. We're going to go straight across here, straight across here. Okay, we're not going to crash there, probably. And then that's the cattle farm. We don't need to go to the cattle farm. We need to come down this way to the wheat farm. And we need to drop off water and seeds. Okay. That is definitely... I'm going to go try to circularize that thing. Because that seems like that's just going to be a nightmare. We got 12? Okay, we got 12. Cool. All right, let's go back up here. Let's get this moving. See, when these cars are heavier and you send that impulse through, it also sends more of a forward jolt from this. Back, it looks like the back car's moving. Yeah, there we go. I like how you can hear the whistle but not the bell. Alright, let's give it a little bit more power. We don't want to do too much. I love this. This effect is cool on the water. They did a good job with the water. I am liking that. And now it's gonna be night and our lights are off because I turned them off. Turn this down a little bit. Whoa, what just happened? What just... Why? Really? They're all gonna do that? What are we hitting? Oh, we must be hitting something. Stop. Stop, cars, stop. Come on, you can do it. No. There we go. Alright, let's see what we hit. We must have hit something. We must have missed some piece of deco somewhere. Is that it right there? That... that microscopic little... Did it break? I thought I heard it breaking. Is it going to disappear? Yeah. That tiny microscopic little cactus is what knocked us off the tracks. Oh, man. Turn it around. No, I want it the other way. Let's try that again. this way. There we go. Okay, and then this one, and then we have to put the brakes, turn the brakes back off. Alright, so let's go like this. Brakes off, brakes off. Okay. Let's see if this will bring us back. Just connect it. There we go. Alright, cool. And we are out of time, so that's going to be it for episode 78. Join me in episode 79. We'll take our loaded train. We have our water and our wheat, and I think we're ready to just do the whole thing. To do the whole... Well, we still have to do loading and unloading, I suppose. Right. But yeah, we're ready. So join me in episode 79. We'll get all this farm stuff going, and we'll see you then. Later.